Roald Dahl was born in the London district of the city of Cardiff, Gales, on September 13 in 1916, to noble parents Harald Dahl and Sophie Magdalene Herzberg. The name him Roald in honor of the explorer Roald Amundsen, a national hero of Norway. Through his childhood and adolescence, he spent his summer vacations in Norway. In November 1939, he joined the Royal Air Force and continued with advanced training, where he was appointed officer and assigned to RAF Squad Number 80, flying an obsolete Gloucester Gladiator. He began reading in 1942, when he was transferred to Washington. His first published work appeared in the Saturday Evening Post edition on August 1 in 1942. He was married for 30 years to the American actress Patricia Neal, and they had 5 children. Where he was a novelist, poet, storyteller, and screenwriter, until his death on November 23 in 1990. This story talks about of Mrs. Bisbee, a woman married to the supposed ideal husband. The author Dahl, with that cynical sense that something gives, his story will deny and end that concept of the perfect couple. The husband is a boring and monotonous dentist. In this way, she always has a meeting with a colonel once a month. Relationships that, for personal reasons, he has to cut, and as a last gift, he gives Mrs. Bisbee a mink coat. She cannot take him home since no one in her family or personal circle has enough money to buy such an item, and thus she has a different idea to keep the coat will her husband does not suspect. The author demonstrates by reading the story a perception of the lost situation of many people anywhere in the world. Roald Dahl himself questions his arguments and provides all the times that will make up the final outcome of the story. And yet the reader is surprised at the actions that are taken when it becomes unbiased, unpredictable, perfect, and transcendental. The story tells the life of an unbalanced couple physically and emotionally. Mr. Foster and Mrs. Foster are two people who have problems living together. She has a pathological fear of being late anywhere, which is evident when a muscle near the eyes begins to contract, and to further complicate the fear she feels. Her husband, Mr. Foster, seems to enjoy tormenting her believing with little time to go travel a place. The situation of a boss and poor understanding that Mr. Foster experiences from her husband is evident when she feels relays when went alone to travel to visit her daughter. From that moment the reader becomes aware of that time where many women they suffer for the exuberant control of their husband, and there were few women with the character or power to make themselves heard and to be able to comment on their rights. Roald Dahl is the father of all those wonderful characters that allowed us to know and investigate history by reviewing a legacy of many or different places and loss of imaginations. His rebellious and mischievous characters are be able to thrill different generations, in addition to demonstrate unexpected endings that question the normal approach to histories and life in general. In the stories mentioned above, and in many of his works, there is an admirer of the children's universe, a tender and cynical man, rude, captivating, and a family man fond of infidelity, where he shows adults mostly as cretins, problematic, and irrelevant in its actions. Also to demonstrate how the control of many women of that time was quite remarkable.